finals. When they win game 1, tentatively game 2, game 3 seems to be a little bit of a problem. It might be overhit, it might be tilt, it might be miscommunication, it might be overconfidence. Those are things that may or may not happen. But without further ado, the moment of truth is about to unveil. This is Game 1's draft. Miracle Gaming MY going up against Tupai Esports as they will be starting things off with first pick. Priority pick here might be the Edith, but at the same time, let's talk about their comfort bands here. Are we going to see like Fanny? Are we going to see Mortis bands? Traditional a little bit more? Not exactly sure because Arlott wasn't exactly open during the open finals. It was pretty much a shadow ban all the way through, but now with it being open, I wouldn't be surprised that they actually switch up their strategy.
Yeah, I think Faramis band is a really good band because we've seen a lot of Faramis play. Because when Faramis being played in your team, they kind of look like, oh, it's nothing rather than burst damage. But when I remember in MPL Malaysia itself, then THQ Team Ha said that let's get that because if we doesn't bring Faramis is one of the best mid laners they can bring. But after that, all the teams just banned Faramis and they did not get Faramis for one game at all.
That's a little bit unfortunate. And of course, seeing after this past couple of days so far, Faramis has kind of brought in a very, very interesting dynamic of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Not because it's strong as a hero itself, it's strong because in a team, it contributes and it becomes the core mechanic to make the entire synergy work. So it's understandable in the right hands, especially with a good, united, built-on chemistry team. It is a very, very strong team. So, Tupai Esports playing it safe, banning on one as well. Martis still in the air. Miracle Gaming still deciding whether or not do they want to ban it. No, they play the safe. They follow the trend so far. Kaja, despite in yesterday's games, almost 0% win rate out of all the matches except for the one game. And it has taken a huge toll in terms of win rate. And seeing now the Kaja being still banned, looks like they don't really want to risk it, apparently.
Yeah, I just want to know if Tupai Esports want to ban up Arlott, maybe the Xavier itself, because we've seen a lot of Xavier gameplay and a couple of maybe the Valentina could be, you know, be steal away from Miracle Gaming to be banned or first pick. But I think it's going to be really hard for Tupai Esports because they did take on to the 1-1. Do they want to ban the Brody as well? The Edith has been taken away.
Oh, love this. I freaking love Edith. Yesterday, not a single Edith game, no bans. If there was one ban, but even then, nobody really cared, okay? Tupai Esports, they're respecting this. They've seen Miracle Gaming. They were one of the few inventors Prime Hashi was able to bring out the table. And that kind of baffled me during the open finals where, what the hell is this Edith? Why did they pick this Edith? And during the stats, somehow Edith was able to do so much more damage compared to jungler, compared to marksman, and it didn't really make sense. But they made it work. It is a comfort, and Tupai Esports, they will respect that. I love it.
Yeah, Tupai respect Edith, but somehow for Tupai Esports, the last ban will be so much difficult because of how Miracle hero pool is too big. Because we've seen a lot how Shiro has 3. They have they have a lot, like a couple more heroes to be played by Miracle Gaming. So the glue has been taken away first for Miracle Gaming. Last ban for Tupai.
Now,
they want to ban out the Xavier, maybe?
I think Arlott is something that they have to take away. Because
yeah.
as we had, Martis is out in the open as well. Arlott also going to be out in the up for grabs. Fanny completely ignored from both sides as well. A lot of S tier picks because regardless of what happened, Miracle Gaming, I don't think they're all that worried about the Fanny, right? Because I've seen Miracle Gaming kind of play the Kufra here, one of the very few teams that actually play that, aside from Evo Esports. I believe GameLab also play with the Kufra as well. So I don't think it's something that are going to be worried about as well. Fredrin, pretty no-brainer. Very, very strong jungler. That means Martis is going to be up for grabs. But so far, Miracle Gaming MY is one of the very few teams that do not play Martis. Did not really prioritize it during the Open Finals. But they did bring in an Alice jungle, which is something that I'm not really a big fan of. But let's see what's going to be the first pick. It seems like it is going to be a Julian pickup coming in from Miracle Gaming. Oh, sorry, it's an Arlott. Okay, yeah. Arlott couldn't stick by, so yeah. Is this going to be an XP one, jungle one, or is it a tank Arlott? So far, XP Arlott didn't exactly do well in yesterday's game.
Yeah, I think Arlott is much more shine when we go for the jungle with the tank build because you have a lot more HP as well as skill 7% with the HP with the regens coming in from the dashes. So if Miracle Gaming pick down the Arlott, it's harder to kill if the tank build coming in for Arlott. But Tupai Esports, I think they they don't remember that Dodos itself said that they fierce down the ALVA.
Yeah, that's the thing. It has been the recurring trend here for today as well, especially from the interviews itself. And what does everybody think about the ALVA? It seems like a lot of stun, a little bit too annoying, just because of how quickly the cooldowns is. Tupai Esports, their response. Valentina as well as the Lapu Lapu, mixing things up as well. Lapu Lapu potentially against a matchup for ALVA. Still, keeping their jungler right now, Miracle Gaming MY. Do they bring in the Fanny right here, right now? Or do they still stick with the Alice jungle? But it seems like Moskov is going to be the way to go. It is going to be Sotaro playing it.
Yeah, I think the Moskov pick is really good because you want to go against the Valentina. You need the range, you need the AoE damage, and as well as the Martis being picked out by Miracle Gaming. 10 pick with 40% pick rate is going to be something that making a miracle here. 70% of win rate. They have a lot more damage in terms of Martis and also the Moskov. And Tupai Esports, they already have the burst and the crowd control. They need to set up a hero here. Maybe they want to bring out maybe the Kufra or Hilda to play more aggressive in terms of how Miracle Gaming is scaling into late game.
Well, speaking of magic here, because as of yet, Miracle Gaming, they don't really have a magical composition. So I'm assuming that they are going to be going for an a roamer with strong magical damage, or a straight hard burst CC down middle for Miracle Gaming MY. And considering that Tupai Esports, they have to consider that all this may happen. Going for the Lolita as a starting mark here to deal with the Moskov as well as the potential Arlot stuns, which obviously can be blocked with those Bulwark. Not necessarily the most ideal situation, I guess. But maybe Tupai Esports is setting up potentially for a potential Esmeralda that Miracle Gaming may be bringing to the table. And like you said as well, forcing the Arlot into... No, actually not. I don't think it's going to be an Esmeralda, but mages-wise, there's just not a lot of mage. Maybe for a Lunox perhaps?
Yeah, Lunox mid lane for the side of Miracle could work. But in terms of how the setup coming in for Miracle Gaming, the damage is there. Maybe a tank Arlot will be played into the jungle, but they have the Martis as well. So if Martis go to jungle, then Arlot go for the EXP. But versus an Arlot, Tupai Esports, they already have the Lapu Lapu. In terms of early game, maybe Lapu Lapu is not quite a big damage like an Arlot was, but they have the Lolita to play and bring the momentum for them. So they need much more damage. Maybe going for a Beatrix into the goal lane coming in for Tupai?
Yeah, personally, I would like a Beatrix pickup coming for Tupai Esports, but as of yet, against a Moskov, there's just not really a lot of heroes that actually deal with a Moskov. I think Brody's pretty good. Beatrix is pretty decent as well. I guess in this case, Tupai Esports, they are going to be betting on mages that actually deal and penetrate from shields, right? Yes. Farsa obviously goes through the shield. Lilia is also something that goes through as well. Forcing a Kadita on Miracle Gaming, it's nice if they play for a roaming Kadita, which is something that they may actually play as well, considering that Arlot, like you said as well, maybe a tank Arlot, tank Martis from the middle lane. So it is going to give them a little bit more opportunity and flexibility to play it. But Tupai Esports, they respect DeFranco from the Open Finals. Miracle Gaming MY, this time, they are going to be shown respect with Tupai Esports banning off the Franco. So that means there is a potential Kadita pickup as a roamer for Miracle Gaming MY, but seems to be a little bit risky.
Yeah, if the Kadita been picked, it's too much damage coming in from Miracle Gaming. They have not a lot of crowd control, given that Martis as well as Arlot. But if Moskov Spears doesn't land, it's going to be a disaster for side of Miracle.
Isn't really the big trend here coming from the Spear, but now coming into this final ban, what is the best counter matchup? In this case, I think banning off the Brody is going to be safe, but like you said as well, Beatrix is also going to be okay. But no, they don't want to play with mobility. Claude is pretty much one of the very few that has high mobility and a potential split push potential. In this case, Miracle Gaming MY, they don't have catch potential. That means free Brody pickup coming in from Tupai Esports. Meanwhile, when it comes to the jungler, it's going to be a question because as of yet, Fanny still up in the air. If Tupai Esports decides to go for the Fanny right here, and Miracle Gaming doesn't have a solution, it is going to be a problem. Martis isn't exactly the greatest against a Fanny. Brody is pretty decent. Sorry, the Moskov is pretty okay, but it is still a problem to work with. So, do they take the gamble, take the Kufra here, anticipating that Tupai Esports might be considering the Fanny, or they just hope and pray that Tupai Esports doesn't play the Fanny, goes for a different jungler, and I think the safety net here would be a Ruby pickup, but they need some sort of magical damage. And it looks like we call it, it is going to be the Xavier as well as the Grok. A lot of physical damage, but not enough magical damage. So that is going to be a proof of a little bit of a problem for Miracle Gaming MY, especially when it comes to the middle later stage game. And with the block here, which obviously, if timed right, can still block the Dawning Light.
Yeah, I think if the Dawning Light can be pushed away from the side of Tupai Esports, but in terms of composition that Miracle brings, I do think that the early game will be such a struggle coming in for Miracle because they need the Xavier time. They need the Grok to play a little bit passive in the early game. Moskov really need the 10-minute game. In terms of Martis, yes, you can see a post spike coming in for the first turtle, but in terms of how Tupai Esports lineup is, they have the Brody early matchup, they have the Valentina as well. So Miracle Gaming, with a couple of defense they put up, I think the last pick coming in for Tupai Esports, that is the Akai, is much more convenience for them.
Yeah, Jungle Akai just completely disrupts Miracle Gaming's composition. However, chain CC-wise, Miracle Gaming, once they got the lockdown, it's going to be extremely hard to get out, especially with the circling coming in from the Xavier itself, the annoyance from the Martis and also Arlot, two arguably one of the most annoying heroes in the current patch, in the current meta. I'm looking forward to see how annoying it can get coming from Miracle Gaming MY. But based on standard textbook plays, Tupai Esports seems to have a little bit more of a well-rounded composition. Easier to play textbook composition compared to what Miracle Gaming MY. So this game one is going to be very, very important for both teams if they want to keep their tournament lives alive. But as we get, this is going to be the lower brackets here between both Miracle Gaming MY going up against Tupai Esports.
The level that they bring in with the game number one. You have the Akai jungle coming in for Tupai Esports as well. The last pick for the Xavier mid lane coming in for Miracle Gaming. In terms of damage in early game, Tupai Esports has a lot more incoming, but Miracle Gaming, they need to play the time. They need to rely on that Martis to play the game and really take the lead here, because a couple of heroes coming in for Miracle Gaming, they need the snowball if they want to take a fight. Because of the Valentina that Dodo play in this matchup is too much of a hassle coming in from Miracle.
No, it's interesting that they are sending 4-man rotation for this fight as well.
Yeah, a couple of Jeff Hardy really needs to run away with a couple blocks coming in for Miracle Gaming MY. But in terms of damage, it's still okay for Tupai Esports.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy now could be a little bit of trouble as well. He's going to get harassed in, forces the flicker out. Meanwhile, we do see an aggressive approach coming from Tupai Esports, cutting up the jungle approach, and now Akai stealing a couple of economy here, but
he can't run away. He can't run away with the first blood coming in for the side of Tupai Esports. With the block coming in for Akai, takes the chance for Tupai Esports. First blood coming in.
Yeah, this is so smart of Tupai Esports. They're just minimizing economy, denying for Martis, knowing that Martis can't exactly go in and out, especially with the rotations right now with the Xavier. So it is going to be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, a couple more damage really needed for Lyzern here to take lead onto the buff. Miracle Gaming, they fumble a lot in this early game.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, right? Considering that Miracle Gaming, they've got this Grok, which is really, really strong. But the problem with this composition is that Xavier needs time to come online. In early stages here, he's literally non-existent compared to what Dodo, as a Valentina, is able to contribute in this fight. And now, with a level advantage up on this Akai, Tupai Esports has perfect control on the early stage game, and we talked about this as well. They are going to lose out a lot in terms of early aggression, and Miracle Gaming, they've got to stop the bleeding.
Jeff Hardy spotted the Grok onto the top side. A couple more blockage coming in for Miracle Gaming. They cannot disengage right now for side of Tupai Esports. Jeff Hardy, a little bit more inconvenience because of the position he's left with. Prime Hashi has been a couple hardship coming in for the bottom side. Arlot early game, not so much of a fan.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult here. Miracle Gaming, they're just clumping as 4, hoping that Tupai Esports gets a little bit aggressive. But Tupai, they're just playing very passively and they're playing textbook here. They're just not overcommitting. But Izard, cheeky little guy, going to be stealing his way through. But Prime Hashi, very strong XP laner, is going to get a very nice solo kill down bottom.
Yep, level 4 Hashi just jump up to level 5. The couple more damage as well as the regens coming in for Arlott give away the first kill for the side of Miracle Gaming. The ultimate has not been pushed just yet. They try to push onto the top side. Miracle Gaming finding a way, but the member Shiro has been back off early.
Oh, the spear here to try and mess up recalls potentially if Tupai Esports tries to retake momentum, because as of yet, Miracle Gaming, another attempt didn't exactly work out, but this time, Zukarian, he's gonna have his red orange buff stolen once again by Lizer, and this jungle aggression from Tupai Esports is working out, and Miracle Gaming MY can't seem to be able to salvage the situation. It seems like they are going to try and abandon Zukarian's lane and focus on the gold lane, but as soon as I say it...
Alti on the top side, they take one, so Satoru has been taken out. The number 2, Shiro takes down Jeff Hardy, and they are going to back up early because Miracle Gaming with the reinforcement has come along. But Zukarian said, we cannot go fight this because the damage coming in for the Valentina is a little bit too much here. And the Grog itself, just feel it. They cannot take a fight a lot.
Oh, this is not looking good for Miracle Gaming MY at all. They shift their focus here. They completely abandon Zukarian, hoping to protect the gold laner. But while that's happening, Soul Satoru getting caught out is going to put them even harder here. But
there
now
goes
with
the turtle onto the Tupai. It takes on Zern, takes down the Tupai first. But now Miracle Gaming, they re-engage with the blockage. Liza been taken away from Zukar 9. It takes 2. Dodo has been taken as well. Number 3 maybe, but the number of Miracle members has been overwhelmed for the Tupai Esports, making number 5, but Tupai retaliate to number 4.
Oh, what a clutch coming from Prime Hashi, the saving grace coming from Miracle MY. Things could have gotten even worse than that, but considering how far of a lead the Tupai Esports is currently in, you can take a look at the replay right here. Great zoning coming in from Liza here, secures the turtle buff. As soon as they got the turtle buff, everyone was pretty much buffed in. But like I said as well, Prime Hashi was the saving grace in this fight, and a big save coming in from the wall charge to keep him alive, to prolong this fight. But while this is actually happening, because of how far ahead the Brody is as well as the Lolita, he kind of gave them some value kill and opportunity to pick them off. So very, very smart plays coming from Tupai Esports and decision making. But like I said as well, it's all about buying time for Miracle Gaming MY. But Tupai Esports now just gonna try and continue with their snowball.
Hashi has been spotted. Jeff Hardy onto the bottom side here with a couple more damage. Valentina is there as well. They maybe take the first kill, but
oh my goodness.
The lifesteal, one more hit maybe to take the kill, but the turret save him. And maybe kill number 2 for that Brody.
He's dead. There's no way he survives this. He is going to get dived on, and that's going to be the commitment from Tupai Esports. They do trade a tier 1 down bottom, but top side, there is going to be a trade-off for Miracle Gaming NY as well. That is going to be So Sataru, the saving grace for Miracle Gaming NY, getting a nice pick up on late play. Easy.
Tupai Esports, they know what they want to do on the bottom side, but when you full force on the bottom, on top side, you will leave along your member when not a little bit of defensive play has been taken away on top side. So Miracle Gaming said, yeah, we're going to retaliate. We're going to take the kill and make it a draw right now with the third turtle coming in for Miracle Gaming. Can they take it?
This is going to be risky here. Miracle Gaming going to be trying to force a fight down towards the turtle, hoping that Tupai Esports is going to be making a mistake. And I'm genuinely worried about what things is going to be happening here, because considering that Tupai Esports now, they're just so far ahead, especially with the Brody now is so strong, they don't really have a solution to catch him off guard yet. So it is going to take a little bit more time. But like I said as well, the biggest problem from Miracle Gaming and MY's strategy right now is that they don't have enough magic damage. And for the Xavier to come up online needs a little bit more time. And the cooldowns on Xavier itself is not exactly short compared to what a Valentina brings to the table.
But I think Miracle Gaming, they know that it doesn't have much magic damage. But when they go for a team fight, they know the target. They know how to just kill away Tupai Esports. When we saw at the turtle fight on top side, when 5 members of Tupai Esports is scattered around, they just go for one target. Miracle takes 1, Miracle takes 2, and make it level for the side of Tupai. When they have the turtle buff, it doesn't even matter for Miracle Gaming.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's all about making space, right? Finding opportunities to drag this game long enough for the Xavier to be relevant. And I'm pretty sure Tupai Esports has some sort sense of grudge. So I'm really surprised that they still commit to this third turtle despite knowing that they need time, and especially with the jungler Mortis has been losing out in terms of levels, XP and space to actually dictate the control and team fight. So as of yet, I'm genuinely concerned for game 1 for Miracle Gaming MY. But Tupai Esports, of course, now perfect condition, has everything in the pocket here to close out the game, and all they need is just not make mistakes and they will eventually close out the game, because as of yet, Brody free hits all the way through. There's nothing much a Moskov can do in the early stage of the game with the protection of the low leader shield.
Yeah, I think for Tupai Esports, when they just force down the bottom side, they know they can take the kill. But when we saw what happened on top side, Tupai Esports just really need to rely on the game sense that they didn't get split push coming in for Miracle Gaming, because when they full force on bottom, they just lost top side.
Yeah, it is going to be all about the macro aspect of the game as well. Count your chickens, count your eggs as well. Minimize your loss as much as possible. Hope to buy time. And that was pretty much what they've been doing as well. We talked about trading off on the other side of objective.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff coming from Miracle Gaming. That was pretty much their salvaging point. But economy-wise, it is still slightly favoring on Tupai Esports. So they're doing a fantastic job just equalizing, but it is going to take a little bit more time. And speaking of time here, we are going to be taking a little bit of a pause right now to try and figure it out. But we are, well, that is pretty much a prank because we're jumping straight into the game here, because now it is going to be the Lord Pit this time, and it is going to be a committed fight.
Laying onto the top side, giving it a couple more damage here, but the ulti coming in for the JFRD. Tupai Esports just run and gun coming in for Miracle Gaming. They need to run, but a couple more dashes. Lapu Lapu needs to hit on the side, but Real Mitsuno just confirmed the kill for Tupai Esports.
Oh, that was a... This is exactly what we were talking about as well. I was talking about before this. Tupai Esports just has so much to deal with, and they need to buy time. Shiro, you can see he's struggling to cast his spell, because if it hits, it hits. If it misses, that's a pretty long cooldown out for the Xavier itself. And so far, Tupai Esports has been choosing to fight at places where it doesn't benefit the circle coming in from Xavier, where they need to be in a choke spot. And currently, they don't have any space at all. And with the Lord knocking in, Tupai Esports in prime position to get so much control. Dawning Light has been expended as well. Dodo stealing the wall charge, but no follow-up coming in from Tupai Esports yet. But seems like the rest of the teams are going to be coming in to force an issue.
Lot on the bottom will be a couple more headache coming in for the side of Miracle when they want to defense onto the mid lane here. Jeff Hardy, a little bit too far coming in for the members of Tupai Esports. Trying to find a way, fishing away Miracle Gaming outside of their base currently. They had a 3-lane push for the side of Tupai Esports. Who's going to go in with the Valentina, with the ultimate coming in for the side of Miracle Gaming MY. A little bit too harsh onto the backside. No ulti has been pushed yet coming in for the Miracle Gaming side.
Yeah, and as you can see, this is going to be a stalemate here. Tupai Esports not finding an opportunity yet, but they still have the wall charge on Dodo. So getting that surprise factor on the right target is going to be a big element of surprise. But now, Prime Hashi just got his Malefic Roar. So like you said as well, this Arlet is going to hit a little bit harder. But it seems like this is a damage Arlet instead of tank. But top side.
Yeah, damage coming in for Shino. But the members of Tupai Esports just want to take this orange buff rather than team fight. They need to wait for the mid lane to crash onto the last starter. Oh, take on one! With the Hurricane Dance, take one first kill maybe for the side of Tupai Esports. The members of Miracle, we lost one. We lost our our damage coming in for side of Miracle damage. Zukranian, the jungle for the side of Miracle, cannot cope with a couple of more ultis coming in for Tupai Esports. They take away Lyzern, and he just go run and gun onto the base of the side of Miracle Gaming, but Tupai Esports just know they're making a mistake because the turret is still alive.
No, how the heck did they win that despite the mistakes coming from Miracle Gaming? And why? Tupai Esports, they were just so separated in this position. It allowed So Satoru to chip away at all the damage, somehow come out on top. Prime Hashi once again doing a fantastic job at zoning the backlines. But let's take a look at the recap real quick here on how the fights actually happened. Because if you think about it, Tupai Esports, they're overcommitting under turret. And because of that, they lost the archive right from the get-go. And while this is happening, their Grok was able to survive. And not exactly sure why they super hard dive this. And Miracle Gaming was able to get value kills. And this is pretty much a great defense coming from Miracle Gaming MY.
Yeah, 15-minute lot, the second lot coming in. Miracle Gaming has a lot more possession onto the lot side, but side of Tupai Esports, they know they're making a couple more mistakes. It will be done for them because they're only knocking onto the doors of the last inhibitor turrets coming in. Miracle Gaming with a couple more position left. The spotlight zone into the bush with damage coming in. Lot is thinking, do I want to go out or not? Because the members of Miracle Gaming, they are fishing away some mistakes coming in for Tupai Esports. If they fight under the turret, maybe Miracle can spot again like what they do before the turret onto the bottom side. But now Miracle, I don't think that the jungle Zukarian is much more an ego coming in for Tupai Esports, because when we see Akai, we see a lot more gameplay to just steal away buff, to steal away objective rather than Zulkarnain.
Yeah, it's going to be hard as well, but they do have the orange buff on Sataru. Zukarian once again is going to try and bait this out. They're going for the reset, but Heavy Spin comes in.
Hurricane Dance coming in onto the top side here from Miracle Gaming. They want to clash away with the 5-man-5, but they lost one member. Zukarian takes one of the Jeff Hardy. The Arlot will be much more of heartache for the side of Miracle Gaming. Onto the backside, Dodo takes one, and Shiro takes down Dodo, and they are on level terms, but they take one more for side of Tupai. Miracle Gaming is still on the top side, and Ritsuna with the Brody gameplay takes down the double kill, only leaves Satoru alone alive.
Oh, mistakes were made from Miracle Gaming MY. They did a fantastic job in the opening, but now Sataru being the only one left. He's going to actually die to this. He doesn't have the winds of nature. He's going to get completely shish kebab. Lens will pay for his price, but it is a Grok versus Marksman now. Real going to be able to clear the inhibitor while he is the main damage dealer. Miracle Gaming MY will somehow still lose an inhibitor, but Tupai Esports, mistakes after mistakes, but they are going to be once again in a stalemate for the Lord fight once again.
Yeah, Miracle Gaming, they just suggest that Arlot of Prime Hashi go to the backside to just kill down Real Mitsuno, but it's just too hard to get down that Broly because the Mark and also the mini stuns coming in for Tupai Esports. They just commit into killing that Arlot because they said they fear down the Arlot, but this is not fearsome gameplay coming in for the side of Tupai Esports.
Oh, it's going to be tough indeed, but at the same time, it is going to be a little bit more time here. Shiro finally level 13. His Dawning Light is starting to threaten Dodo's position, but he needs the perfect setup because macro-wise, he is an amazing sniper. But right now, in terms of overall damage output, Tupai Esports not choosing to take a clumped up fight, and that is actually something that benefits Miracle Gaming MY a little bit more rather than playing a split off potential. So as of yet, Tupai Esports, they're still in full control as long as they are not grouped up as far. As soon as I say this, a big Dawning Light connects on 4, the Spear as well. But it is going to drop them down a little bit low, but with the Lord's protection, this is going to be a hard defense.
Yeah, they're going in with a couple Dodo, couple more damage. Top side has been taken away. Turret onto the bottom side will be second, but now it's the time for Tupai Esports. They doesn't have the Lord just yet. It goes in, a couple more flickers goes, but now Zukarian will be taken away, but still have the lives goes on.
Crystal.
The Crystal will be taken away. Miracle Gaming will fall in game number 1.
Yep, they would get so much from the base itself. There's so much damage coming from Tupai Esports, and they were able to close up a very, very convincing game. Miracle Gaming MY stood no chance in game 1, completely rolled over by Tupai